now, and I am still here, still staying at home. But don't worry, the projects continue. We have the furniture set up in the room, so now I decided to work on a few crafts and things that will help bring together the theme that we want to put in the room. So as we're going for a Peter Pan theme, I started looking at mobiles online, and I didn't really see anything that fit the style that I want. So I either saw kind of, in my opinion, really expensive things that I just didn't want to spend that kind of money on, that were little felt cartoonish characters of Peter Pan, or some of the mobiles were just like the silhouettes, classic silhouettes of Peter Pan and Wendy and John, Michael flying, hanging from the mobile, which is really cute, but at the same time I also have those kind of motifs already in the room, so I didn't want to make it overkill. We have already the name blocks that have some of the characters on them, and we have been gifted a really nice decal for the wall that has the silhouettes of the characters flying along with the pirate ship and Peter Pan characters already. That's going to be over the crib. So the mobile I did not want to recreate with the characters flying around. So I was hoping to go more in a symbolic way with it and kind of metaphorical and have symbolism from the movie, symbolism from the story in the details. And so the hanging items would be more things like perhaps an Indian arrow or Peter Pan's hat and some other types of materials like that. I still have to make the final list of what types of things I'd like to have hanging from it, and part of that may also pan out as I start making it and see what I can actually make and what looks good and what doesn't work. So I was looking at the types of things that I have and thinking of what we can pull together. I wanted to start with, first of all, of course, the circle or some sort of wreath that would set the foundation for the mobile, and that would be the item that hangs. Going with kind of heavy nature theme also in the room where I can. I wanted it to be kind of branches, that way we get the forest feel in there where the Lost Boys live. I managed to find this at kind of a thrift shop down the street, and so I think that this will work nicely. I originally had in mind more of a darker, more natural wood, but this will still work. We have a lot of grays and blacks and things in the room, so that the ash tone would still work out just as fine, even though that wasn't necessarily originally what I had in mind. Sometimes you improvise. So this was available. It was only a couple euros actually, and then we can work on a way to mount it from the top, but first I'm just going to focus on how to hang the items from the bottom. I also will be using just some ribbons. I went through my gift box goodie bag. I have a huge bag, as probably most of you do, of things for wrapping presents and all the ribbons and name tags and things that I keep stored away in the closet. So I went through that. I think that my husband's vacuum. So I'm going to stick with the basic ribbon with some different textures and sparkles and shimmers of white ribbon. That way I have a kind of twinkly magical feel coming down from the natural ash wood, which I think will look really nice and go together well. And then as for the actual shapes and for the items that we're going to hang from the mobile, I'm thinking right now that the plan is to work with just some simple construction paper. So come up with some of the shapes and designs. My goal is to make them a little bit more 3D. So say for example we do Peter Pan's hat, maybe cut out some of the triangular type shapes and then put together and then add on a red feather and things so it has a more 3D aspect. Part of that we will also still have to see how they turn out. I'm not sure how well the paper is going to behave, how well I'll be able to really conceptualize cutting the different pieces into the shapes that will help to create the end goal that I want to create. So I'll try to share some of this process with you as I come up with the shapes and designs, figure out what we're going to hang from the mobile, and then start tying it all together. This is our finished version. And I don't know if you remember the ribbons I was just showing before, but I had those kind of thick white ribbons, which were way too big. It looked really crazy, so I ditched those and then found some other like white with silver trim ribbons and then some black ribbons that I was able to use a lot thinner, and I think it's much more proportional to the items that I have on here. So here we have our Peter Pan hat, a Captain Hook appendage, which I actually used some of my silvery ribbon, sparkly ribbon, kept twisting it up into a tube and then put a wire through the middle. That way we would hold the shape, and then use that to make the hook. And then just some construction paper for the handle of it, and then also our arrow. And then made some simple 3D stars where it's just 2 stars with slits in the middle so that they fit over each other. And then finally added our silver leaves. And then I taped the things together as we were going just to make sure I had all the locations and placements correct that I wanted. And then once everything was in a place that I was happy with, I went back with hot glue so it would look a lot cleaner and be more stable than just using the tape on there. Same thing for where the ribbons are tied onto the branches. I sealed off the nuts with some hot glue to make sure that they would stay and not come untied and, you know, fall on baby's face or something. So this, I think, is how we're going to leave the mobile for now, unless I think of something else I want to add on it to it or change. But I'm happy with it. And then the final step will just be to figure out how we're going to mount it. I think we're going to go with some kind of way to screw it into the ceiling and then have it hang down, probably make a way to connect it with this jute twine that I have, jute cord. It's really thick. This is actually, I think I got from an outdoorsy kind of place for doing outdoor crafts and things, so it should be really durable. We'll use a way to tie it up the way that you would hang planters or things maybe from those hooks in the ceiling. So if we can do that, this is really light, so it really won't need too much, but of course we'll try to make sure it's extra secure, because anything hanging over baby's head should be very, very secure. And I will leave that to hubby to figure out, because one, he just likes to take command of those things, and then two, I am way too short and he would not like me on a ladder trying to figure out how to attach something to the ceiling. So that will be his domain, but he was also pleased with the wreath, and made him smile, so I figure if it makes him smile and he's a little bit like a big kid inside, then it should be good for baby. So husband approved equals baby approved.